On April 15, 1945, the British 11th Armored Division liberated Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. The smell of decaying bodies horrified them. They found 13,000 unburied dead bodies and almost 60,000 prisoners who were sick and starved. Other thousands of inmates died of various diseases, such as typhus and tuberculosis, during the months following the camp's liberation. The British forces managed to capture male and female Nazi guards responsible for these horrors and forced them to help bury the dead bodies in mass graves. One of these SS guards was Franz Stoffel. Franz Stoffel was born on the 5th of October 1950 in Hamburg. He used to be a clerk, and in October 1934, he joined the Reichswehr, the German armed forces. He then left the Reichswehr, and in April 1936, he volunteered for the SS. According to his testimony, he wanted to become a professional soldier. However, the SS in 1936 had nothing to do with the soldiering, but provided concentration camp guards instead. Between 1936 and 1944, he was posted to Dachau concentration camp, where he held positions in the warehouse area, and later he was responsible for small working parties. In January 1944, he moved to Mittelbau-Dora concentration camp, where he served as a commander for the construction of Kleinbodungen, which was Mittelbau-Dora's satellite camp. He became a leader at Kleinbodungen and supervised prisoners working on V-1 and V-2 ballistic missiles. It was during the evacuation of this camp, ordered in April 1945, when Franz Stoffel committed his worst crimes. Stoffel was one of the 45 SS men who led a brutal death march to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. The ill and starving prisoners had to walk 25 to 30 kilometers per day in wooden shoes. While 610 prisoners left Mittelbau-Dora on April 4, 1945, only 590 inmates arrived at Bergen-Belsen on April 11, 1945. When he was asked about the difference of 20 men, Stoffel responded that 5 were shot because they either tried to escape or they could not keep up with the pace. He did not know what happened to the rest. Stoffel claimed he had been with his deputy Wilhelm Dürr all the time during the death march. During the death march, Dürr was seen killing the prisoners who had become ill or too weak to march any farther. However, according to Stoffel's testimony after the war, Dürr did not kill anybody. Stoffel claimed that prisoners who had bad feet were allowed to sit on the handcart. He forgot to mention that they were shot the next morning. All this could not happen without Stoffel's consent. After the liberation of Bergen-Belsen, he was captured by the British forces together with his deputy Wilhelm Dürr. He was tried at the Belsen trials and convicted of atrocities which occurred during the death march from Mittelbau-Dora. As with his other Nazi colleagues, he pleaded not guilty to the charges brought against him and denied everything he was accused of. Stoffel even said that during the death march, the prisoners had had good sleep at night and enough food. However, coffee in the morning, 500 grams of bread, and 40 grams either of sausage or cheese during the day was hardly enough. He also claimed that they had also gotten hot meals in the evenings. However, prisoners had very limited recollections of that. Stoffel's lies did not help him escape justice. On November 17, 1945, a tribunal sentenced Franz Stoffel to death by hanging. He was 30 years old when the British executioner Albert Pierpont carried out the sentence on the 13th of December, 1945. There were no tears shed for Franz Stoffel. Thanks for watching the World History Channel, and don't miss our next videos. Click the subscribe button now for more interesting clips. Give us a like, and see you in the following episode.